Yep, that is right, you guys. It is already that time of the week again to make our predictions for the next chapter of One Piece. With 1164 on the horizon, it is time to have that grand old discussion. So, before we hop into it, just in case this is your first time here, I like to throw things in a 3x3 bingo format. For no particular reason, I just think it's kind of fun to have it this way. So, here we have it. These are my predictions from 1164's chapter. And, I like to go back to the previous week just to see how many we did end up getting right. So, taking a quick glance at it, we weren't looking too bad. So, my first prediction from last week was simple. I thought that Big Mom would join in on the Emu battle. I was very confident in this one. I gave it 100% chance of happening, and of course, it did happen. Next up, I said we would get a Will of D hint, because there's so many damn Ds on this island. We didn't get that. Surprisingly, Emu kept the conversation to the next one, Davy Jones. Yes, I thought we'd get a mention of Davy Jones or Joy Boy, and we did get the Davy Jones direct name drop. Next up, I said that we could get the Man Meyer Girl face reveal. I lowballed that one. We didn't get it. Will we ever get it? Who knows, man? So next up, I said that Emu could power up the God Knights because I do think they need it. I mean, Garling is down for the count. Maffy got cut in half. Sommers got blown through walls, Looney Tunes style. They need the help. Surprisingly, Emu didn't even mention them in this chapter. Maybe this will happen in 1164. But of course, I don't want to repeat too many of these, so I'm going to take the L on that one. Next, I said that Emu might perform a new attack, or they will Domi Reversi somebody strong. And that strong person was, of course, Rox D. Zebek. I do think that a lot of people kind of saw that one coming, that somebody would get Domi Reversi'd. So, of course, we made the bet, and there we have it. It did end up coming true. And now for the bottom row, of course, all of these right here, these are from commenters. The first one, they said that Gabon would beat off Gonzoi. Did not happen. Gonzoi was in the chapter, but he wasn't fighting Scopper. Actually, that fight ended off screen, funny enough. Garp would do a new attack. We almost got this, but Garp did end up using Galaxy Impact instead against Emu, so no new attack and no throwing slaves. And now for the last one, we could learn about demons and or learn about Saturn-Emu. Nope, none of that. Instead, we just had Emu slaughtering people. So, those are the predictions from 1163. Now it is time to get into 1164. My first prediction, get this, I think we will get more Rox pirates fighting on the island. Specifically, though, I think we could get, wow, I butchered that. Wow, holy crap. Silver Axe or Barbell. And let's go and put fight, too. Yes. I think one of these guys will fight somebody on the island. Will it be a God Knight? Will it be against each other? We do not know. But with how Captain John, Gonzoi, and Shiki got treated in this chapter, I think we will get that same treatment for the rest of the Rox Pirates to kind of wrap up their story here. Because if we don't tackle Silver Axe or Barbell, or even Gloriosa or Stussy, then we'd have to keep on asking the question of where they're at. And we don't want to do that, right? We want to focus on the big stuff. We don't want to keep on asking, oh, where's Silver Axe? He's going to pop up any minute now. Kind of like what we're doing with the God Knights, right? Oh, any minute now, the Yeti God Knight's going to pop up. At some point, Oda will have to tackle these guys, and I'm going to put my money on it being next chapter. Because let me tell you, I think Oda has done a great job so far, wrapping up these stories one by one. At first, boom, Rayleigh, his story, done, right? Rayleigh Shaki getting off the island. In this chapter, we saw Scopper leaving as well, where Roger said, hey, Scopper, get the treasure. Just get out of here. I'll stay back. Boom, Scopper, done. And then in this chapter, Captain John, blown up by Gonzoi, done. I think Oda is checking off all the boxes for these side characters. And I think Silver Axe and Barbell could be the very next ones. Of course, it could very well be Gloriosa, Stussy, or any of the God Knights, but I want to be very specific here. So, on to my second prediction of the day. I am going to put, whoa, that's vertical. I did not want that. Let me fix that real quick. Boom! Okay. So, my second one is that Dragon runs into named opponent. Let's just put op. I don't know if opponent will fit. Yes. I think Dragon will run into some opposition while looking for Shanks. I don't think he's going to give it the search yet. I think he's going to keep on looking around the woods for Shanks and see where he went. And while he's doing that, because he's rifling through treasure chests and jewelry, we will get some sort of pirate walking by saying, oh, look, piece of candy. And then boom, dragon pops up and then they'll have some sort of confrontation. I think it could be Shiki, or it could just be another Rocks pirate member, or hell, it could even be a God Knight. There's so many great options here. And of course, Dragon's kind of been going through the ringer, right? We saw Dragon run into Maffy. Maybe he runs into Garling, who's on the ground. That would be a pretty cool confrontation. Garling is regenerating, and then Dragon is like, whoa, what the hell is this thing? I think that'd be fun. My next one, believe it or not, is Garling related. Wow, it's always going vertical now. Garling plus Emu conversation. Yeah, that's right. I'm getting specific here. I do think Emu and Garling will talk via telepathy. Maybe this is where the God Knight power-up happens. Emu is like, hey, Knights of God, where are you? What are you doing on the island? And then, of course, Garling is like, great one, you're here? Oh my God, let me lock in and regenerate faster. Maybe something like that could happen. Even here in Elbaf, we saw that right when Emu showed up. Next chapter. Oh, great one. You're here? Oh my God. And of course, we do know that somehow, some way, Garling does get into Emu's good graces because Garling is the one who gets promoted to Gorosei. So maybe he kind of bootlicks in this chapter. He's like, oh, great one. I'm so sorry. I'll be there immediately. I'll help you fight these pirates. Yeah, Garling is going to be like the first person who talks to Emu, in my opinion. So next up, my fourth one is that Emu goes into standby mode. I think Emu's done here, man. I don't think they're leaving, but I also can't imagine them fighting anymore. Mainly because he now has Rocks Domi Reversied. Now that you have the strongest pawn on the island, and of course, if the God Knights are finally getting serious, I think Emu's just gonna chill, hang out, and watch the fireworks. All right, he's got all his pawns here. He's leveling up and demifying people. Yeah, I think they're simply going to stand by and just kind of hang out. I mean, hell, even in this chapter, after they fought the Pirates and Marines, when Emu got attacked, boom, just strike and oppose. Emu did not really care, dude. I think Emu's going to relax. I don't think they're going to go all out. And it's a little bit unfortunate. You know, I do want to see more from Emu's bag, but that's kind of where I'm at currently with him. Next up, I think Shiki kills Ganzui. Absurd, right? Wait, kill? That's extreme, Sai. Well, hear me out, dude. We know Ganzui is dead. When we last saw this dude at Thriller Bark, he had no legs, right? He was cut from the waist down. The streets are saying that Shiki's the one that does it. He's the one who does the deed. And I like that a lot, because it's kind of ironic, right? Shiki got sent to Impel Down, and what did he do? He had to cut off his legs. Well, maybe there's a leg thing going on here, right? Maybe he's the one who cuts off Ganzui's legs, which I think would be pretty cool. And of course, we do know that this matchup's happening, by the way. Last chapter, I didn't realize it at first, but Ganzui flakes a booger bomb at Shiki. So it's like, yo, that fight is happening. Maybe we see the outcome of it. All right, so now for my sixth prediction, I think we will get another repeat devil fruit. It's not done, guys. We saw the Jiki Jiki no Mi with Captain John. We saw the Bomb Bomb no Mi with Ganzui. Oda, give us another one. Give us more repeat devil fruits. I think it's a lot of fun. It's so fun to have. It's so inconsequential. I would love it if we got it. I don't want to get too specific because there's just so many fruits out there, but we could easily see like Bellamy's fruit. We could see maybe Ace's fruit with Barbell, which is a funny theory. I just love the creativity of this. And of course, you know, seeing how different characters utilize their fruits is awesome. I mean, hell, Ganzui knocked out Captain John with a single booger. Bro, Mr. 5 is not doing that, right? The attack power difference between Ganzui and Mr. 5, absurd. The durability of Kid versus Captain John, almost identical, but you know, that's just how it is. So yeah, I would love to get another one. If I had to like put money down, like on a really weird shot in the dark theory, would be like Aruja's fruit with Silver Axe. I don't believe in that one though. I think that's just like a weird panel where, you know, he takes off the hood and just looks bigger, but maybe we go with that. You know, let's go ahead and add that one in here. Let's add in ×5 okay, no, that's too much. ×2 multiplier if a rouge. I'll put UR for that. I don't think that's gonna fit. Yeah, if it's a rouge's devil fruit specifically, ×2. Actually, let's go ahead and put ace's fruit too. Because, the ace barbell theory, like I said, it's so funny, man. Yeah, ace and a rouge's devil fruit ×2 multiplier. So now, onto the bottom row, of course. Like I said, these are from commenters. My bad. I forgot to put the pinned comment in the last video about, like, dropping your theories. So that's my fault. I posted the video and I fell asleep immediately. But yeah, nevertheless, I did end up finding 3 of them. This one says that Dragon saves Teach. I like it. And of course, this would be a Dragon thing to do. He wanted to save Shamrock. He wanted to save Shanks. He just wants to save somebody. So far, that mission has been somewhat of a failure. So maybe he switches over and he sees Aerith and Teach. And boom, Rock shows up. Aerith sees him. And she's like, hey, Marine guy, can you take my son? Maybe that's it. There's got to be something between Dragon and Teach. I do agree with that base level because of the hard-on that Teach has for Dragon current day. We do not know what the hell is going on, but Teach has constantly been after the revolutionaries. He's spying on them right now. Teach went out of his way to attack Baltigo and alerted CP02 Baltigo. Like, there's some history there, and maybe we'll get it because Dragon tries to save him in the past. Now, for the second one I found, they said that we could get another Domi Reversi. That's not going to fit, will it? If I make it small, yeah, there we go. Another Domi Reversi. Of course, I do want to put a stipulation here. I think that it should be a named character. I think if it's just like a bozo, like, oh, it's Marine guy number 5, or, ooh, Davy Clan number 2. Like, no. We're not going for that. It has to be a named character. I would love it if, like, Whitebeard, Kaido, or Big Mom got Domi Reversi'd, thus fulfilling Sengoku's telling of God Valley. But yes, I think we could get another one, and this could be how we learn more about Domi Reversi, its limits, the conditions, and etc. So, now for the last one I found, they said, oh, let me fix that real quick. Rocks versus everyone. So this kind of implies that nobody else gets Domi Reversi'd, but alas, here we are. I do think this is going to happen. I do not think Roger or Garp will simply let Rocks run off and kill his family. And you got to imagine, everybody that is participating in this fight right now, they just heard Emu talk about Rocks' wife and son. The minute Rock starts running off into the forest, I bet you, not just Garp and Roger, but Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom, they'll all probably try to stop him. So yeah, I do agree. I think Rocks will fight everybody. If, of course, we don't get another Domi Reversi of one of those guys. And this could be why, going to number 4 here, Emu goes into standby mode, because they don't have to fight anymore. All right, everybody will have their hands full with Rocks. And you could be saying, oh, but Rocks isn't that strong. He can only 1v1 Garp or Roger. But here's the thing. Rocks is now Domi Reversi. That makes you stronger. You get regen, you get demon powers, I think, and you get bigger. Rocks is not the same guy he was last chapter. Those are my 9 predictions right there, with the feedback, of course. And now, before we get out of here, I'm going to drop some percentages just for fun. So, Silver Axe or Barbell Fighting, I am very confident in this one. I'm going to just give this one 100%. I think Oda is doing a pattern here. Writing off these characters one by one. They're definitely next. So now, for Dragon running into a named opponent, I'm also pretty high on this one. I'm going to give that 90% as well. And it kind of goes back to what people were talking about when we first saw that Dragon was on this island. This is his, quote, Marine Ford, right? He's just running into legend after legend after legend as an inexperienced cadet. He can't fight the top tiers. He's not that strong yet. Kind of like Luffy. Well, Luffy at the time was a lot stronger than Dragon here, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Dragon will definitely run into someone. I do not think it's going to be smooth sailing now that he's lost Shanks. Garling Emu conversation. Of course, I think this could just be because they're all my ideas. I'm going to give this 100%. I have high confidence in this one. It's got to happen, especially if Emu just kind of chills after Rocks gets domied. Yeah, he's going to do a 4-1-1 and catch up with the boys. So, Emu going into standby mode, I think this is high as well. Maybe not as high as the other ones, so I'm gonna give it 70%. Mainly because I could still see Roger maybe wanting to fight it, or maybe Garp, right? Because they're like arguing over whose attack did more damage. So maybe now that they see that Emu is regenerating, they're like, hey, let's do one more attack, you know? Let's not stop there. So now, Shiki killing Gonzoi. I love this idea so much, but I'm not super high on it. Mainly because I can't imagine what the panel's gonna look like. Will it be like JJK where we just cut over and Gonzoi's like this? I don't think so, man. I don't know if Oda's gonna show this. Like, if Shiki does beat Gonzoi, I don't think he'll show Gonzoi's dead body and confirm it. So I'm gonna lowball it. I'm just gonna give it 60% for now, but I still love the theory. So now, another repeat Devil Fruit. I'm gonna go higher on this one. I'm gonna go with 85%, mainly because this has just been on brand with the last couple of chapters. 2 chapters ago, oh, is that the Jiki? This chapter, oh, it is the Jiki. Oh, it's also the Bomb Fruit. Yeah, I think it is going to be in the cards. Dragon Saves Teach. I like this route. My problem is that I don't know if we're gonna get that right away. I feel like this is going to be like 2 chapters down the line, maybe 3 chapters down the line. I don't think this is going to happen ASAP. So because of that, I'm going to lowball it at 40%. I like it, and I think this could actually be canon at some point. But next chapter is kind of what I'm looking at. Like, okay, how fast is Oda moving God Valley? Of course, the answer is very fast because Rocks got domied within a single Emu chapter. But we'll see. Another Domi Reversi of a strong character. Damn. Another strong character. You know, granted, it doesn't have to be Whitebeard Kaido or Big Mom. Or Garp or Roger. This could be Silverax or Barbell. Which would be silly. Like, imagine that. Oh, Domi Reversing Silverax. Like, no, I don't know. And of course, it goes back to all the big Domi Reversi theories. Like, does it have to be your homeland? Do you need blood? Is it the board game Reversi? We still don't know yet. Damn. I'm gonna go high on this one. I'll give it 75%, just because I think we're not done with it. I think Oda knows that everybody's talking about this ability, so he's going to toss us a bone. He's going to toss us something. Rocks versus everybody, I think this is a slam dunk. Considering how fast Roger and Garp wanted to fight Emu, the minute they see that Rocks is powered up and Rocks is running up to kill innocent people, yeah, they're going to want to fight him. 100%. And of course, we do know that Roger and Rocks do have some sort of confrontation here. So yeah, I'm going to drop that at 100. But that is it for me, guys. Let me know what you thought about all these predictions down below. What are your predictions for 1164? Make sure to drop those comments down there. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video to the end. I really freaking appreciate it. Spoilers should be out in a day or 2, so stay tuned for that. And peace out, brothers.